Hello, students. It's time to add vulnerability to our spaceship. It's not fun to play in God mode. Let's select the spaceship's base and create a new logical branch for it. Let's call it player collision. As usual, in the object properties, let's immediately attach the branch to the base. Also, if my memory serves me right, we haven't created a rigid body for the spaceship's base yet. So, let's go to the physics section and add a rigid body in passive mode. Let's leave the collision shape as the default, convex hull. To check for collisions with asteroids, we need an on-contact array block. Connect the second channel to the collection block and specify the rocks folder in it. After registering a collision, we should remove the spaceship. For this, add a remove object block. Let's run the game and collide with an asteroid. The spaceship will disappear immediately. Good. However, we don't want it to disappear immediately. We need to give the spaceship a life. This life will be depleted from collisions with asteroids. And only when life reaches zero, we will remove the spaceship. So, for now, let's disable the remove block. Select the base, and in the object properties, add a new variable of type float. Let's call it player life. Let's change the default value to 10. Now, after a collision, we need to check how much life is left for the asteroid. For this, we'll use the gate block. Choose the operator greater and compare the player life variable with 0. This will require two blocks, get object properties and integer. Then, if life is greater than 0, we can subtract a portion of it. Take the set object properties block. Specify the new variable player life in the property field. And connect the value channel to the current value of this variable minus the damage value. Copy the get object properties block, connect it to the math block, and subtract 1/10. After that, for clarity, we can output the current value of the player life variable to the console. Get the print block and connect it to the string channel. Then attach the get object properties block. Let's run the game and try colliding with asteroids. What do we see? Life is decreasing too slowly. At this rate, we'll be dying for a whole year. This is happening because the on-contact block is still in the default begin mode. This means that if we collide with an asteroid, the collision will be counted only once at the beginning of the contact, and that's it. If we are still overlapping with the asteroid, it won't count as additional collisions. To count the next collision, we need to stop overlapping with the asteroid and then collide with it again. This mode doesn't suit us. Let's switch the block to the overlap mode. This means that collisions will be continuously counted as long as the ship overlaps with the asteroid 60 times per second. Let's run the game. Collide with an asteroid. Now we can see how the ship's life rapidly decreases until it reaches 0 or goes slightly negative. Now let's add the destruction of the ship. Get the remove object block and connect it to the false output of the gate block. Now, as soon as life becomes 0 or less, the ship will disappear from the screen. Now we need to create a life indicator on the screen so that we can see how much life we have. To do this, let's create a plane, give it the shape of a bar, with dimensions of 4/10 on the x-axis and 5/100 on the y-axis. Let's rename it to Life Bar BG. Copy the plane, raise it slightly, and make it slightly smaller. For the x-axis, it should be 0.88. For the y-axis, 3/100. Rename it to Life Bar. Select both and apply scaling. Now let's add material. Go to the shader editor. For the background, create a material named LifeBar BG. As always, change the shader to Armory PBR. Set the color to white and emission to 1. Select LifeBar. For it, we need to create 3 materials. If life is full, the LifeBar will be green. If it's closer to half, the color changes to yellow. And if life is approaching its end, the LifeBar changes to red. Add 3 materials with the names LifeBar green, LifeBar yellow, LifeBar red. Choose the corresponding colors. Besides that, the LifeBar should change in size. We will scale it. But look here. If I start scaling it along the x-axis now, the LifeBar will shrink towards the center, but we need to scale it from the left edge. To do this, we need to move the transformation point, or the pivot point, to the left edge. Select LifeBar, go into Edit mode. Select two left points, set the 3D cursor to the selected area by pressing Shift-S, 2. Return to Object mode. Right-click, choose Set Origin to 3D cursor. Now the LifeBar scales as needed. Parent the LifeBar to the LifeBar background. Select LifeBar. Then while holding Shift, select its background, press Ctrl P, and choose Object. Let's raise the LifeBar to a different height so that it doesn't intersect with asteroids, explosions, and other objects. Elements of the game interface should be above everything else. I think a height of 0.5 tenths should work. Disable spawning at the start. Select LifeBar BG, and in the Object Properties, uncheck Spawn. Return to the Logic Node Editor. Find the Game Init branch and spawn our new LifeBar. In the layout, you can place it in the desired location and see the coordinates where it will appear. For example, here, 2500ths on the x-axis and 9500ths on the y-axis. Duplicate the spawn object by name block. You can connect it to the Done channel on the twin float block. Then, the LifeBar will spawn after the ship becomes completely transparent. Change the object's name to LifeBar BG. Connect the transform block to the spawn. Enter the coordinates we remembered. 2500ths on the x-axis and 9200ths on the y-axis. On the z-axis, 0.5 tenths. Start the game and make sure that the LifeBar is in place. Now we can tidy things up. And then add automatic scaling to the life indicator. Go back to the player collision logic branch. Delete the unnecessary print block. Get the set object scale block. In the object field, type LifeBar. We need to pass the value of the player life variable to the x-axis. To do this, get a vector block and connect it to the scale channel. For the y and z axis, we need a value of 1. And for the x-axis, connect a link from the Get Object Properties block. But we need to add some mathematics. Because initially, the player life variable contains the value of 10. And we need a range from 0 to 1. How to turn 10 into 1? That's right, divide by 10. Get a math block and divide the variable by 10. The final touch. We need to change the color depending on the durability. Get another gate block. We need a condition if player life is greater than 5. Select the comparison operator, greater. Connect the variable's value to the first input. And connect an integer block with the value of 5 to the second input. Every time the check returns true, we should make the object green. Add the set object material slot block. In the object field, don't forget to specify the live bar object. Connect the material block to the material input and choose the live bar green material. Copy the check. Change the value to 3. Copy the color change block. Change the color to yellow and connect it to the true output. Copy the color change one more time, change the color to red, and connect it to the false output. Check how it works. It seems to be working fine. If you feel that life is depleting too quickly, you can reduce the damage to 5/100ths, for example. Well, that's all for today. In the next lesson, we'll add VFX for damage and ship destruction. Goodbye for now.